It's a new day at work. Yao decided to come along with Director Faye at FG Tech, despite the latter pointing out she doesn't have any business to do there. It's all tech issues and stuff. But she decided to go anyway, reasoning that her department is built upon the data generated by FG Tech's tech department, yada yada yada. The meeting wrapped up later, and Zhang's boss asked her to take Yao and Zhou, another coworker, out for lunch. Zhou bailed out quickly, saying she's got family to visit, which means it's only Yao and Zhang. It's our Laopo and laogong together, finally. But Yao's not too keen on it because how else will she spy over Zhang? It's not like Zhang can recognize her cutesy voice, right? She'd have to listen to it a couple of hundred times. Anyway, the two walked over to the cafeteria in silence until two kids accidentally bumped against Yao. She got shoved over to Zhang, and what's worse, they called her ma'am. Why, I oughta... Yao was about to run her mouth when she caught herself a moment later feeling Zhang staring right at her. The younger asks if she was okay when she felt pain in her ankle, and yap, she sprained it. Poor Yao started sobbing, so Zhang left her to sit somewhere while she got something. Now that she's alone, Yao checked her injury and she'll be damned. Her ankle's already swelling like a Genki Dama gathering energy. But as soon as she saw people approaching, she resumed her dignified pose. Can't let them kids see her weak and all. Zhang arrived a moment later with a numbing spray and kneeled in front of her. Wait, hold up. Yao panics, telling the boyish Sakura, her laogong, Zhang, that she'll be fine, but it all fell on deaf ears. Zhang sprayed it on her ankle, and while doing so, Yao was plagued with an intrusive thought. She wanted to pet Zhang's hair. Wait, no, this is inappropriate, but in the end, her intrusive thought won as she patted Zhang's head for a moment before instantly withdrawing it. Yao quickly apologized for doing it, but in her defense, Zhang's hair looked so fluffy. Thankfully, Zhang's nonchalant AF and resigned to her fate of people ruffling it because she's got curly hair. Yao took that as a pass to ruffle Zhang's hair again, so the latter had no choice but to let her, as if she had the heart to decline Yao when she looked that excited. Now that her ankle was all fixed, Zhang asked her if she wanted to grab a bite or something. At first, Yao said she'd just get a ride when, aha, I should take this opportune moment, she thinks. So the two ended up having bubble tea at a nearby shop called Xiangu's Bubble Tea. They sat together having tea when Yao broke the silence. She tells Zhang that Xiangu's Bubble Tea actually has a secret. There's a dog-shaped pearl in their drinks. Yao proceeded to swirl her boba tea around looking for the pearl while Zhang stared at her quietly. This time, it was Zhang's turn to sweep Yao's hair out of her face, catching the latter by surprise. That bathump moment left Yao flustered. But she continued looking for the pearl, just as Zhang told her to, until she found it. Well, would you look at that? It's really shaped like a dog. Proud of her achievement, Yao didn't notice that Zhang started to rummage through her own boba to find something like that too. After a bit, she found one, but it looked more like a panda. Curiosity struck, so Zhang asked her how she found out about it, and Yao said she loved Xiangu so much to the point that she actually noticed that the pearls had different textures. Jiaying couldn't help but notice and was reminded of that one sticker. Weird knowledge increased. Upon mentioning that, Yao slipped up and said that her laogong used that a lot, and that's when Zhang asked if she was married. In Zhang's eyes, she looked far too young. So in a desperate attempt to cover up her mistake, Yao just said that it was the surname of an old schoolmate. You know, he's called Gong. So yeah, that's it. Flash forward to later that night. Laogong texts her Laopo about the secret boba of Xiangu Bubble Tea, the dog-shaped pearls. Feigning innocence, Yao plays along as her Laopo, asking how Laogong knew that, feeling giddy as heck. Well, that was quickly replaced by annoyance because what the heck did Laogong mean the old lady at the company told her? Didn't she tell her earlier that she looked young for her age? She's not Tsunade level yet. Tonight's a fun night online because Xiangu's universe has a pretty sweet event lined up for their players, but for a limited time only, Finding the Great Granny Duck. And it looks pretty much like a dumbed-down version of Vivi's pet Karoo. You'd think everyone would be brimming with excitement with this piece of good news. Well, not Yao. Your girl sat irritated in front of her monitor. Do you know why? It's because her laogong can't help her hunt for the duck because Zhang works overtime tonight. Is it real or is it just an excuse? We're already halfway through our video, so how exactly will Yao go through this alone? Comment below, and if you want to help us get fired up, you can always leave a super thanks as our morale boost to help us produce more videos like these. Like and subscribe if you want to see more, and share this video if you can. Back to the story. 3 hours went by with Haryao slowly morphing into her chair, bored AF. Her sister calls her out for looking half dead, to which she nonchalantly answers that she's looking for a duck. A duck? Is that what lesbians are into these days? No matter, because just then, Haryao received a notification from her work group chat. Director Faye asked for updates about the data, and Joe explained that FG Tech is still working on them. So was her laogong really busy at work? You know what? She's got it now. Haryao knows what to do. Suddenly, she got all dolled up, much to her sister's surprise. The younger even thought she was about to gigolo with that getup. Haryao cleared that she was working overtime at the office and headed straight to FG Tech. Jong was busy working like a mindless drone when she heard Haryao call her over. Looking pretty as ever, Haryao pretends she didn't know why the other was working hard this late and hands her some boba tea from Xiangu's shop. Jong takes it and notices how Haryao looks all glammed up, so she asks if the older one was just on a date earlier. Success! This was Haryao's plan all along, to make Jong notice her beauty. Unfortunately, their conversation got cut short because Lee, Jong's co-worker, called out to her. You best believe Haryao's already cursing this runt but acted all prim and proper, explaining that she was just around, so she decided to give a couple of bubble tea drinks to everyone. Jong stared at the two silently, as her office mate took the drinks from Haryao before looking at her own. With that, Lee told Jong they should head to her station so the other could check her work. As soon as the two of them were out of sight, Lee was quick to pull Jong closer, and thought that Haryao was hitting on Jong. Little did they know that Haryao stayed behind to eavesdrop on that. Well, it turns out Haryao was just a nice person overall. Jong remained quiet, even as Lee kept on about how she ought to choose Haryao, who's way prettier and more mature, over her happy little wanderer. Jong ignored everything and even pointed out Lee's rookie mistake in coding. Of course, Lee blamed it all on their other workmate when they heard Haryao call out that she'd be taking their leave. Both girls turned at the sound of her voice, but Haryao sensed something was off. It was like laogong didn't look too happy at all. How the hell did she arrive at that conclusion? Jong's face is as expressive as Eraserhead's. The heck? Haryao sat by herself outside and received a call from her office mate, the latter lamenting about how the older farts at their office kept hitting on her. This time it was Director Faye who gave her flu meds today, but Haryao tried to console her, assuring her that she was pretty if men were hitting on her. Her office mate finds it all humiliating, and at the mention of that, Haryao couldn't help but assume that this was the reason why Jong looked upset earlier. Did Jong not like being hit on? As if to rub salt to injury, she's reminded of what her office mate just said. Old and humiliating. Ha! Wait till she hears half of what P. Diddy did. In Haryao's defense, she was just giving boba tea and she didn't go overboard, but why does it have to feel this bad? She's no cradle snatcher. That's when Haryao blew up and popped off against her friend. Director Faye was just trying to be good, and that's when her office mate pointed out that Haryao talked more smack about Director Faye. Haryao dropped the call, then her mascara already ruined as she cried when she received a text from her laogong asking if she found the great granny duck. This just made her feel all sappy, crying even more as she sent a quick reply to her laogong. Meanwhile, Jong returned to her workstation and noticed a lipstick smear on one of the partitions. She checked it and asked her other office mates if they knew what kind of shade it was. Their answers ranged from red to bright red to RGB. But all Jong did was stare back at them with a judging glare. Did that leave you hanging? Check out our other works here and don't forget to leave a like and subscribe.